Well, we were just finishing up down the allotment on the work from home Wednesday lunchtime trip, and then this lot suddenly came down whilst we were harvesting some kale shoots. So we're hiding out in the polytunnel for now. So I thought while I'm here I'll do a quick little zip around with a video camera. That being my phone, of course. Bit of coriander here. These are volunteer corianders that pop up occasionally in the polytunnel. Usually go pretty much straight to seed like these have, but they provide a nice little harvest for our curries and stir fries and things. Oh, we should grab some for stir fry. Grab some coriander today. Yep, sorry, that's just me talking to Cat behind me. Some weeds, nice tasty weeds down there. Over in this bed we have also lots of weeds in the form of wild rocket. This whole green carpet of wild rocket. I've kept hoeing it and hoeing it. They keep coming back. So on the weekend I'm going to have to spend some time on my hands and knees properly weeding this lot out, because I don't want it to interfere with the garlics too much. I think this is a rose white here. Could be a Kingsland. One of these is rose white and one of these is Kingsland white. And these garlics in the middle of these beds are doing pretty well actually. Slightly less robust on this side, and I'm wondering if that's actually because of the rockets getting in the way. Not sure how badly they interact. These big tufts here are Claytonias, miner's lettuce. And I believe I'm probably going to have to pull them out pretty soon before, almost tripped over, before they go to seed, and I end up with a double problem in this bed of both rocket and Claytonia weeds. So I think they're going to have to go. In this bed, on the other side of the polytunnel, golden frills, not very golden looking, but it's called golden frills mustard. Again, the garlic down the middle, 2 rows. We did this last year, worked quite well, so we're doing it again this year, and it looks like it's working better this year. They're looking a lot healthier. And then minutina down this side, which is Italian salad green, but it's also just sea buckthorn. And you can see you'll recognise those little flower heads if you know sea buckthorn. And this is supposed to be a perennial, so it obviously isn't going to end up living here. We're going to have to transplant them out somewhere, because this is where the tomatoes are going to go, which I've got growing at home. Tomatoes are doing well right now. So even this side we've got a little bit more over the sea buckthorn, minutina. These garlics, the wonky whites that we planted down the side, and the wonky white's just garlic that the Isle of Wight garlic farm sells as an eating garlic, but we grow them in the polytunnel. Well, sorry, grow them on the allotment, because it's a cheap way to get some extra bulbs when I'm ordering some fancy ones. But yeah, the wonky white down here is just not looking very happy for some reason. Not quite sure what's gone wrong there. Lots of chickweed down there, that needs a good hoeing. And these are all dills that are self-sown. We've got a bunch of old dill up here, which you can see the dill seed everywhere. So that's self-sown. That's a good weed to have. I like a bit of dill occasionally. Big old rocket again. That's a volunteer. I'm walking on some posts. But yeah, that's the state of things in the polytunnel. That's a good old IBC's in the corner, which we fill up regularly with the tap at the moment, but eventually we will get plugged into a system running off some gutters on the polytunnel. These things are happening slowly. And out on the plot, the rain has stopped. Bit of blue sky. And just looking down before I trip over something else. The Concord pear is looking pretty good. And what I noticed today is that the other pear, which we don't know the variety of, but we think it might be a Cormis pear, I can't remember, does have very little flower on it. There is some. We're wondering if this variety might be a little bit more biennial, which is a thing with pears apparently. So I don't know, that one's got plenty of flower on it, but we'll see if it sets fruit. This one, so far, not a lot of flower. Maybe it's still to come. This is only our second year with these pears as our own, because there used to be a fence here, and this used to be the neighbouring plot with the pears on it. So I'm not fully sure. I've never seen many fruit on them in the past, but they were never really looked after. As you can see out here, our what do we call it again? Shallots. I believe it's Longor shallots that we grow from sets that we buy. That bed's looking beautiful. I think we've got 100% shallot in that. Every spot has a shallot. A little bit less successful here. There's a couple of blanks. This is a mixed set of different garlic varieties. Obviously you can see there's quite a mix of strengths of the plant here. So it'll be interesting to see how they all turn out. We trial lots of different garlics. Every year we get a few different ones and see what works for us. And same thing in this bed, it's some different varieties. And then down the side here, so you saw the wonky white on the other side of this polytunnel wall. Same bulbs as this. And look at these are looking really fantastic. Big strong stems on them. So yeah, there's obviously a key difference between being on that side of the polytunnel. Water obviously is one of them, other conditions, but these ones out here are looking fantastic. And this isn't even the sunniest side of the polytunnel, because the sun sort of comes from behind me to our right, and then over to the left. So this gets the afternoon sun, obviously gets sun right now in the middle of the day. So while I was down here, I've planted 3 rows of salad greens. There's 2 mizunas, a green mizuna. So we have a white mizuna, then we have some tatsoi, and then we have a red mizuna from Real Seeds. That plank has some carrot seeds under it, and then you can see there's a tiny little green at the end of my finger is a radish, and I don't know, hopefully we'll get some more radishes popping up there. In the long beds right now, a lot of it's been sort of emptied out. We still have some of last year's bits and pieces in the ground, so some celeriac here. This all needs to come out really. Some old white beetroots, some parsnips over there. So that's sort of the remnants of last year's crops across there. And they're going to have to come out, like I said, though I'm wondering if I should leave a couple of parsnips in to flower, and maybe, I can't remember how many parsnips you need to grow for seed, but I think it's a few. So I should look that up, and maybe we could grow our own parsnip per seed and have some nice fresh parsnip seed of our own next year. I've been chitting parsnips at home, but I forgot about them, and now they're going to be no good, so I'm going to have to chit them again. But oh well. So yeah, more garlics again. We've got some different varieties around here. It's interesting always to see they all went in sort of roughly the same time, within about a month of each other. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, and we'll maybe pick some new garlics. But generally for us, the Kingsland White and the Rose White are our favourites. The asparagus bed, not much going on there at the moment. We keep it weeded out. We've just been cleaning it up. There's a little bit of blood, fish and bone on that. And some not fantastic looking broad beans that I planted out there a weekend or two ago, a couple of weekends ago. Hopefully they take off. That's where I was picking some kale earlier. We're just picking off the flower sprouts now. They're really nice and tender and tasty. They're good for a stir fry. Kat's going to make mappa tofu tonight, and we're going to stir fry it. So if we wander up the back here, got this little extra bed down the back, which we put some onion sets in a few months ago. Can't remember exactly when. Need a bit of weeding in here, but that's fine. So the onion sets have mostly come up pretty well. Now this is the bed where I put the asparagus we rescued from the front of the new plot next door. And voila, that's actually come up already compared to our asparagus in the front bed that hasn't come up at all. A bit worried about that asparagus, to be honest. This, we're just going to let whatever has survived grow this year. Hopefully that wind's not wreaking too much havoc with the microphone. We'll just let this grow and establish, and maybe we'll get another asparagus bed, or the way things look like, maybe half an asparagus bed. The ume, of course, are well over in terms of flower, and now we're just going to wait and see if we've got any... that branch looks dead. See if we've got any fruit set. Fingers crossed. You can see these leaves are all curled up. Well, it won't focus on them. This tends to have a bit of an aphid problem, but it does tend to recover from it. So I haven't sort of used any nasty poisons or anything on it. You can see there's a bit of a sort of stickiness on there, the dew from the aphids, honeydew. And sometimes we see ants on here, though I'm not seeing any right now. But yeah, that's a problem we have with the ume in general. The black currants, which came with the plot, the only thing that's still in its original place. And excitingly, look at that. Our blossoms are coming through. And our quince, my favourite tree. My favourite fruit, kinda. I don't really have a favourite fruit, do I? But yeah. Looking good. Lots of blossoms. Look at all that. I don't know. We had a ridiculous crop off this last year, and we've got enough quince everything to last us more than a year anyway, but we'll see what happens. The other ume, again, not much to show here. It also tends to have a bit of that aphid problem going on. We'll see what happens. We got here today, and the greenhouse was about 30 degrees. Looking okay. Now, I can't remember when I last did a video if I mentioned the grapes. Obviously the Boss Coupe Glory there is looking pretty good. It's come up nicely, and the brown turkey fig down the end is looking pretty good. I have to go around the outside, and while I'm passing it, the yeah, what's we calling the damn thing? The raspberry tunnel. Hopefully that recovers nicely. We sort of fostered quite a lot around its roots, and I'm not sure it was too happy. We didn't respond so well, but we'll see how it goes this year. Up the back of the plot, obviously, there's still all this work to do. We'll start it eventually. We'll get to it. Some random things in pots that we rescued from this plot originally. There's some rhubarb and some gooseberries. Hopefully we get some plums on this plum tree this year. If we don't, I might just rip it out because it takes up a lot of space. And then if I come around here, I was going to say, look at our Cabernet Sauvignon. There we go. Leaves. I had almost got to the point of writing this off as a dead one, but it has come back from what looks like a dead twig to become a relatively happy looking plant. Oh, that wind is ripping through us. Anyway, I think that'll about do us for this little random plot tour. I have filmed this video about 4 times over the last month. I never get around to publishing it. We'll see. I could probably do a montage of all the times I have pretty much just said the sentence I just said then. Maybe I will, if I can have the time to dig up all that video. I probably won't. Cat protected this chard a couple of weeks back, and it's coming back nicely. We have a serious problem with probably pigeons around here. They just sort of take all the leaves off anything like this, sadly. But yeah, anyway, that's our little plot tour. In the wind and the rain and the sun, the 4 seasons in one day almost. We just need a bit of hail. But yeah, lots to do, but lots happening, so it's all good. And lots and lots and lots of seeds and little plants growing at home. And this, what's this called again? Wisteria that was on the plot. Looks like it has not died either. So maybe that will come and become a thing over our plot arch at the front here, which, like a lot of things, it needs work. Everything needs work. And that's a comfrey in a pot down there. Anyway, work from home lunch is definitely running overtime, and it's time to go back home and hack on some code. I thought I'd follow the little allotment video today with a bit of a tour of what we've got growing at home. This is where all the action's happening right now. Right now I'm in the conservatory, and we've got some things here that we've overwintered. There's some Szechuan pepper varieties, 4 different varieties of Szechuan pepper basically. A lemon, a lime and a orange there, looking a little worse for wear. They need some care. Those pots there are a couple of gingers in theory, like eating ginger. They grow a bit every year. Where, yeah, they aren't great in this climate. Hottentot fig up there. And down on the table here, there's a jasmine, which we're going to plant out the front this year. It's not looking great right now. Nothing looks great at this time of year for the most part that's been overwintered in here. Then we've got all kinds of various little seedlings down here. A big pea gutter, 2 varieties of peas, some earlier cucumbers which I need to thin out, some morning glory flower seeds, some multi-sown beetroots back that corner, some rather leggy looking kohlrabis, second sowing of broad beans, some peas, some nasturtiums, some oniony things, spring onions. So yeah, lots going on there. These are some black hollyhocks here, and some chitting potatoes, and some more of that Hottentot fig. Down here, this week's got a lot of pricking out going on. So I've pricked out a bunch of basils there. We've got 5 varieties down here. Good old Genovese, Napolitana, which has really big leaves. Something called sweet basil. I don't know why I got that. I don't know what it is exactly. It's just a generic basil. Some purple basil, which actually normally down as red basil, is what it's called on the packet. And of course, Thai basil. A favourite. I've actually got the Thai basils, so we've got a few extra Thai basils in individual pots. So 12 of each, except 15 of the Thais. And I've just been doing more potting on. So over here, we have more some ornamental stuff as well as some culinary stuff. I don't know if ornamental is the right word, but yeah. So we've got some catmint down here, a Nepeta. What's that one over there? Oh, that's Russian tarragon there. And then 2 trays of tiny little celeriac seedlings that have come out of here. They're the last ones I've done. I've just run out of dirt, so that's me done for today. And there's some two varieties of celery there as well. Okay, I'm just going to pause this and nip over to our windowsill. This is the kitchen windowsill. So these are some breadseed poppies I've just pricked out, 30 of them. Could do more. There's a lot of extra seedlings. It's hard when you've got something like this which has, you know, potentially maybe a couple of hundred seedlings in it. How many do you actually want realistically? Over here we've got a couple of things being overwintered. Some of them have died. That was supposed to be a Corsican mint. I don't think it survived. There's some little leaves down there maybe. Stevia, as in like super sweet sugar plant. Vietnamese mint or Vietnamese coriander. It's called both things. Persicaria odorata. It's one of my favourite herbs. It really works fantastically in Southeast Asian cooking. Down here, some night-scented stocks, some toad flax. So we're trying to go a bit with more flowers this year. I'm not very good at flowers. Just generally the vegetables take priority, but I'm trying a bit harder this year. We got wild chamomile. No, we got lawn chamomile, wild chamomile, white flowering borage, which really needs to go into some pots. And this is what's left in my basils right there. So there's more that could be pricked out. And all of the tomatoes have been potted on. We have 34 in the square pots, which are for keeping, and 23 in the round cardboard pots, which are for either backups or given away. And 34 is way more than we have space for, so I'm going to have to work some things out there. Now, if I do a quick about turn, look behind me. Don't mind our dirty floor. All the cucurbits. I always get that wrong. Is it a cucurbit or a cucurbit? It's a cucurbit. But anyway, did all the cucurbit and sweet corn planting this weekend. So we've got all kinds here. If I try to look, these are the pumpkins. So we've got the Queensland Blues, various. I'm not going to go through all of them. There's quite a lot. Achocha, giant achocha, baby achocha, sweet corn bicolour, sweet corn red, gherkins, and zucchinis. So yeah, that's a big pile of stuff on the table. Every flat surface here that doesn't have food on it has a plant on it right now. There's just some stuff we harvested in the allotment today. Some tips of sprouting tips of kale, and a bit of mustard we harvested the other day. Okay, next thing we can look at is the grow shelf in the study. So, study grow shelf right here. What we're looking at right now is all the chilies. They need potting on. Similar scheme to the tomatoes with the square pots and round pots for backups. And then if we move on just a little bit, we've got the tomatillos, capsicums, and eggplants. And obviously some of these are rather keen to be potted on. Look at that, it sort of goes all the way over here somewhere. But yeah, and we've got some sunflowers just next door. But yeah, that's where we're at. Still got a lot more to sow. Still a lot more to do, but we're probably more ahead of it this season than we have been before. Fingers crossed it stays that way. Okay.